Professor Dr. N. Gunasekharan is Dean, Rajalakshmi Engineering College, Chennai. He has 40 years of teaching experience in the field of electronics and communication engineering. He has guided 6 PhD scholars and 3 MS program scholars. He has published 10 books and 10 monographs. He conducted more than 50 short-term courses, winter schools, summer schools, and faculty development programs. He received Best Project Awards twice for UG projects at state level through Directorate of Technical Education and at national level President of India Award for the project on telephone for physically handicapped persons.
Welcoming you to the UGC lecture series on optoelectronics. We have been discussing on wave property of electron, how wave property is introduced, confirmed, verified by experiment. That was a discussion we are making in the last session. Now, there are few theories developed by various scientists. Rutherford started the whole ball rolling. In his atomic model, there was a flaw. Electrons are moving around the nucleus in circular orbit. When electrons are moving in a circular orbit, it undergoes acceleration and accelerate electron giving out energy. Thereby, the electron continuously losing energy. So, it is following a spiral path and finally ending on nucleus. That was not an acceptable theory. Later on, Planck said energy is emitted only in discrete quantities called quantum. In fact, he was studying about the black body radiation, and finally he said energy, though it is radiated only in quantum. Thereby, an infinite energy requirement is not necessary. And incidentally, Einstein also done his photoelectric experiment, and he brought a wonderful word, photon. He said energy emitted in the form of photons, quantum. So, thereby he brought a new terminology in the history of physics, and he said that energy directly proportional to the frequency. It is not all frequencies are just like that throwing away the energy. So, increase a frequency, increase the energy, and energy not at all a function of illumination amplitude, it is only frequency that plays a role. Quantization was the key word introduced by Planck, introduced by Einstein. It is also hypothesized by the scientist Bohr also. So, ultimately quantization is a key role played in making electron as a wave as well as a particle. Okay. Now, that quantization leads to electron orbiting in a fixed sized orbits and fixed energies. Fixed orbits, fixed energies, that is the outcome of quantization. Thereby, Bohr proposed that energy, it is not radiated continuously, energy is radiated only when electron jumping from one level to another level. Parallelly, de Broglie's hypothesis also introduced. De Broglie hypothesized that any mass, any substance which has got a mass will have a wavelength, that another concept he introduced. So, the de Broglie's wave concept is another philosophy introduced where he was emphasizing the wave. So, de Broglie's wave property of moving electron, it is going to be correlated to Bohr's postulate of stationary states. Though quantization is a basic of stable state, but the stability of the orbits, it is going to be supported by Broglie's wave principle. As far the Bohr concept is concerned, if the angular momentum of an electron in a state is quantized, and must be an integral multiple of h by 2 pi, then the state is stationary. The orbit in which electron is orbiting becomes stationary, not emitting any energy, only if the angular momentum is quantized or the electron is revolving in a state which is multiple of h by 2 pi. Thereby, the angular momentum MER equal to NH by 2 pi, that concept is introduced, and an orbit with r as a radius correspond to a stationary state if it contains a standing wave. It is another beautiful concept. Standing wave is an indication of stability, and the standing wave will result only if the radius r is going to be a multiple of lambda, that is 2 pi r equal to n lambda. So, that what it says, when 2 pi r the circumference of the circular orbit, if it is a multiple of lambda, or the other angular momentum philosophy also come into picture, then we are leading to a stable state. So, a condition for stable state is brought in wonderfully by mixing of wave property as well as the quantum property or the photon property. So, thereby the lambda is equal to Planck's constant into momentum p, or the 2 pi r equal to n lambda. So, all are interrelated concept, at least we should remember angular momentum is quantized or the circular orbit is multiple of lambda, any one thing we should remember, and that is leading to standing wave. So, the combination of Bohr as well as de Broglie converging to the same concept, that is angular momentum is quantized. Why is the angular momentum of an electron should be quantized? That was a question we are answering. Electron is a wave, that is de Broglie's hypothesis or proposal. So, electron can exist only when it is interfering constructively. Now, we have to change our plane of thinking, how electron is behaving like a wave. We should forget for the time being electron is a particle. So, the orbit, suppose electron is a wave, please visualize electron is a wave, forget about the particle concept. If electron is a wave, if wave has to exist, if a wave has to exist, conceptually the wave should interfere constructively. So, the stability of the wave is accepted only when it is interfering constructively. On the other hand, if it is not, then the wave will die down. So, for electron to exist, for a wave to exist, the wave should constructively interfere. That is a beautiful concept proposed by de Broglie, and it has got a meaning, and this constructive interference of electron wave, it is possible only when angular momentum of electron is quantized. So, the concept of Bohr, the concept of de Broglie merge here at this point. What we mean by constructive interference? Now, we have to recall the concept of resonance. Now, consider a wave is travelling between two reflectors, as you are seeing. When a wave is travelling between two reflectors, you can see a standing wave. What you are observing is a standing wave. How the standing wave is possible? Only when the wave goes forward, reflected back and reflected again this side. So, thereby it moves back and forth, and provided if it is interfering constructively, then only the wave will exist. It is a basic concept of resonance. Now, same logic now we can extend to the wave. Allowed orbits are those orbits in which electron constructively interfere. Now onwards, for some more time, we have to visualize electron as a wave and how a stability to the wave is provided. That way we should look at, thereby constructive interference becoming mandatory, and that is only possible when orbits are quantized. So, I think the beautiful concept is converging. Now, you can see the example, that means the orbit should be quantized. Orbit is 2 pi r, the orbit of an electron is 2 pi r, and if it is quantized as n lambda, n is an integer. So, the orbit should be 1 times 2 pi r, 2 times 2 pi r, 3 times 2 pi r. Under such circumstances, there will be a constructive interference, that what it is beautifully showing. Here you can see the radius r, you can see the orbit, the radius r, and this is the allowed orbit where it is constructively interfering. Now, the wave, this is the wave what we are visualizing, this is the wave which is representing the electron. If this wave which is just overlapping over the circumference, if it is interfering, now we should change our plane of thinking itself. Now, electron is a wave, you can see this is a wave, and this wave is superimposed on a circumference of a circle, and this circumference circle 2 pi r should be compatible to the wave. So, that is the concept we are talking about, that is one aspect. Suppose if that requirement is not met with, that means the circumference of 2 pi r is not equal to the wave which is getting inscribed there, that what it is shown here, that mandatory requirement is not met, 2 pi r dash is not equal to n lambda dash, that means it is a destructive interference, will lead to non-existence of electron itself. Electron is a wave, again I am reminding you, electron we are looking as a wave. So, whenever there is a destructive interference happening, then electron will disappear. So, for electrons to exist and revolving around the nucleus, now we are visualizing electron revolving around the nucleus as a wave. Please remember, it is not a particle now. Now, if you apply, you see another beautiful diagram shown how multiple, now you can see in the inner circle there is a radius r 3, there is a r 3 which is inscribing 3 lambda, there is the outer circle which is inscribing 4 lambda. Like that you can see orbit after orbit, electrons revolving and each orbit inscribing multiple of lambda, thereby constructive interference is ensured. Why electron can exist only in some state and not in others, that what we are answering, we are re-emphasizing why some states are not permitted, forbidden, and why some states are allowed. It is a very simple similar question, how your guitar string knows what pitch to produce when you pluck a string. When you are plucking a string and guitar giving a sound with a particular pitch. So, which pitch is to be recognized? For both the answer, the two questions we are posing, why is only some states are permitted, number one question. Number two, how a particular pitch is existing. For both the question, the answer is a standing wave, a sustained standing wave is the answer for both, and that what it is shown now. You can see the pitch of a guitar string, you can see notes are coming on both the sides. So, this is one fundamental mode, this one fundamental mode is shown, then there is a second order, then there is a third order, these are the permitted pitches, in between nothing is allowed. Same way, this one fundamental mode correspond to one wavelength of one particular radius, second mode correspond to two wavelength of a radius r 2 which is twice a lambda, the third mode correspond to 3 lambda. So, there is a parallelism. Now, I like to inform that this concept is there in many places. When you are talking about wave, whenever you talk about the closed system, this closed system will survive only when there is a resonance, a cavity, a waveguide, a resonance system. Wherever the closed systems are there, wherever waves are expected to exist in the closed system, then resonance is answer, and this is one such thing. Maybe what all I am mentioning may be finding of the at a later history, but what is a common thread in all these finding? Whenever there is a closed system and whenever there is a wave existing in that closed system, the sustaining nature of the wave is assured only when wave can resonate to each other. We will have a short break and continue. Welcoming you back to the discussion. The concept of electron as a wave is slightly difficult to digest to start with, because we are trained to visualize electron as a particle. Electron as a particle revolving around the nucleus in various orbits. Electron is a energy packet. Like that, the electron as a particle is only our visualization in the earlier concept. But now, electron is also behaving like a wave, and this wave behavior becoming a mandatory for the sustained stay of electron in a circular orbit. That what was we are developing in this discussion. So, if electron has to exist, if electron has to move around the circular orbit, and during its circular orbit, if it is not supposed to emit energy and lose energy, to meet all these conditions, we are telling electron should be a wave, number 1. At the same time, the wave should be of length, should be a multiple of lambda. In other words, the circumference of the orbit made by electron should be multiple of 2 pi r, okay, or n lambda. That what we are telling here. Once again, you can see the allowed orbit. Here we are comparing when you are considering one orbit, that means 1 2 pi r, then that 1 2 pi r is corresponding to one pitch or one fundamental mode, and that correspond to one circle. I think this is a beautiful diagram what you are seeing, where the emphasis of electron as a wave is 100%. I think it is convinced. That means our imagination of electron as a wave is must, and only if electron behave like a wave, there are other problem can be solved. And we also showed, if you take the third order, the fourth order, second order, everywhere you can see the orbit of electron is just fitting into multiple of lambda. When multiple of lambda and circumferences are of the same size, then they are all called stable states, and electrons are revolving in that orbit without any loss of energy, and energy emission is there only when there is a jumping of one orbit to another orbit. Now, this is only a numerical concept, it is going like a square of the fundamental quantum number, that it can be easily recognized. So, these are all here onwards only a question of arithmetic, but concept is clear. So, thereby now you can go about calculating the radius of the circle and the wavelength of the wave what we are talking. There is a beautiful correlation between electron wavelength and Bohr orbit radius, and we know very well this radius with a multiple of 2 pi should be correspond to multiple of lambda. Well, these details one can always accommodate. When n equal to 1 wavelength, it is 2 pi r 1, that is lambda 1. So, this first orbit 2 pi r, the innermost, that 2 pi r 1 should be equal to 1 lambda. If you go to the second order, the second circle which is quantum number 2, then it become 2 pi r 2, and that is lambda 2. The third order n equal to 3, like that it goes on, and we are generalizing the radius of the orbit is equal to n square the r 1, the fundamental r 1, that we call as the Bohr radius. A naught is called as a Bohr radius, and all are multiple of that Bohr radius, and that multiplication of n or n square, that correspond to quantum number. So, thereby a very good establishment is made between the circular motion of electron and the stability of the electron and non emitting orbit of the electron. They are all well established. The electron wave for the first 3 orbits are visualized depicting the wave as meeting a kind of resonance condition. Either you say they are interfering constructively or they are meeting the resonance. Okay. When resonance is there, resonance occurs only there is a positive feedback. When there is a positive feedback, only when there is a constructive interference. So, resonance word is a somewhat simpler word to mention, but it only emphasizes there is a constructive interference, stability of the orbit no emitting orbit. All these are the terminology we should recall. The waves should interfere constructively for a resonance, and all those things we are now seen. Now, there are various mode of drawing this orbital concept, and they are all shown as compatible to the radius of the orbital motion. Now, thereby we are coming to a very important conclusion. We want quantization. You see how like a seesaw, the concepts are jumping from one to other. The classical theory says that electron is a wave. Classical theory says electron is a wave, but at one point of time when Bohr entered with his model, the classical theory is not suiting. Classical theory says electrons revolving in a circular orbit, it is losing energy continuously, thereby it is follow a spiral path. So, the atom is killed. Thereby the classical theory does not suit when Rutherford made his model. Then the series of scientists entered, like Einstein, Planck, Bohr, people come in a row, one by one they found that the quantization is a mandatory. Electron cannot afford to throw energy continuously, it should be quantized, and energy should be thrown only when electron is jumping from one level to another level. Thereby the orbit made by the electron should have a quantized angular momentum. So, angular momentum is quantized, energy is quantized, jump is quantized. So, all quantization philosophy entered, and we are happy. And incidentally, when de Broglie entered, he again brought the wave philosophy back, and when he is talking about the circular orbit, the stability was questioned, and stability is met with only quantization meeting the wave concept. So, the wave concept and quantization concept are supporting each other, though they look slightly opposing each other. Wave concept is must because we are looking for a resonance. Resonance is possible only if it is a wave. Only when wave moving around the orbit, it should constructively interfere, resonance takes place, stability takes place, no emission, and that is acceptable only when angular momentums are quantized. So, quantization and waves, these philosophy they support each other at one point of time. The wave nature of matter is responsible for the quantization of energy levels. So, wave is a must, but we should not take wave just like that for every explanation. So, we have to be little careful in what situation wave philosophy is so useful, in what situation quantization is useful. Only those states where matter interfere constructively, then the level is allowed, and since there is a lowest orbit where this is possible in an atom, the electron cannot spiral into a nucleus and it cannot exist closer to the nucleus. Anyway, these philosophies we discussed, and we have come to a final conclusion that quantization and as well as wave are supporting each other, and we need quantization concept on one side, wave concept on the other side. So, these will go together, and the point is electron does not exist in one single spot. Suppose we say electron is moving as a wave, we said electron is a wave, again I am emphasizing, do not visualize electron as a particle or it is fixed as a single place, it is a wave. If we say electron is a wave, obvious question is where is electron? Electron is a wave, wave can exist everywhere. So, can you locate the position of the wave? When you say electron moving around the nucleus as a wave, can you pinpoint out? Thus, the physics speaks about the allowed orbit and allowed transitions to produce particular photon, and Bohr atom really looks like a following diagram actually. Now, you see this is a beautiful diagram, it is a feast to our eyes. Now, you see what we have seen earlier, normal orbits. normal atomic structure where orbits are filled by electrons and electrons are appearing as a particles. Now, we come to a very strong acceptable conclusion, electrons are wave, and when electrons are orbiting, it is a wave is orbiting, it is not particle is orbiting. What we are familiar, particle is orbiting, now it is a wave orbiting. Now, you can see it is a beautiful diagram where the innermost is a first orbit, where there are two sort of wave diagram, you can see one positive cycle, one negative cycle, something like that. So, that give rise to a 2 pi r multiplication into lambda. You can see the third one, you can see one wave, second wave, third wave, thereby its orbit 2 pi r equal to again multiple of lambda. When you come to the next orbit, again you can see multiple of lambda and so on. So, this is a beautiful visualization, beautiful drawing. Now, here Bohr concept and de Broglie's hypothesis merge each other, thereby the need of stable orbit by the Bohr, the angular momentum quantization and wave concept of Broglie, both are merging in a constructive way, thereby we are fully justified that electrons are orbiting in a stable orbit, and when they are in the stable orbit there is no emission of energy, and there is no question of spiraling, there is no question of electron converging to the atom and atom is killed. So, now we are 100% very clear, the wave property of electron is a must, it is not a choice. Only when wave property is emphasized, we are talking about resonance, we are talking about the constructive interference, thereby stability. So, thereby de Broglie's principle also taken into account. How does the de Broglie's principle fit into the macroscopic world? Very interesting. What is a de Broglie's hypothesis? Any substance if you take, if the substance has got a mass, if the substance has got a velocity, then we define a wavelength. De Broglie hypothesized that every matter has got a wavelength. That means, he assumed every object, every mass is a wave. If that is acceptable, how you are extending to the macroscopic concept? The length of the wave diminishes in proportion to the momentum of the object. Momentum mass into velocity, that is momentum, and momentum is quantized, and if you take mass into velocity, if mass is increasing, then velocity has to come down. So, thereby there is a conservation of momentum requirement says when mass is increasing, the lambda comes down. What about the wavelength? Wavelength also affected, because for every mass there is a wavelength. So, greater the mass of the object involved, the shorter the wavelength, that is a interesting conclusion. So, when mass becoming larger and larger, wavelength becoming shorter and shorter. The wavelength of a person, now the whole discussion is, can de Broglie's hypothesis extended to human size, because de Broglie visualized that every mass has got a wavelength. So, can a human being has got a wavelength, that is the question. Now, yes, every human being also has got a wavelength. The only thing to remember, as mass increases, wavelength has to come down. So, the human being mass has got a wavelength which is millionth of a centimeter, and this is a short, very short to be measured. The tunneling philosophy is not suitable for human being, though he has got a wavelength, it is not such a tiny wavelength such as a X-ray wavelength, whereby it is possible to tunnel through a very small gap like a crystal structure. So, anyway, the point to be remembered, we are not going to apply the de Broglie's principle for a larger system in practice, but it is the sore combination of Bohr's philosophy and de Broglie's philosophy successively convinced us that electrons orbits are stable, electrons are not emitting energy, electrons are stably moving around the nucleus in all various orbit, and only when electrons are jumping from one orbit to another orbit there is a emission or absorption of light, and these emission and absorption, these are the code words we are going to use in our optoelectronics. Conclusion, we said the orbits are quantized, that means whenever electrons are revolving around the orbit there is no loss of energy, there is no emission of energy, and whenever there is a transition emission of energy takes place or absorption of energy takes place, and this concept is feasible, acceptable, we got convinced only by the joint venture of Bohr and de Broglie. So, our main concept of emission absorption in our optoelectronics, it is fully proved by the scientific finding as well as experimental observation. Now, we can go into our own concept of how absorption and emission takes place in an atomic structure. Thank you.